Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yankee Doodle, do or die. What is the deal with individuals in the room? I'm wondering. I brought the O-ring out here because I was like, well, shit, we're not really doing shows anymore in there. We're not doing that. So it's like, well, fuck, why not bring out the O-ring out here and have some cool-ass lighting? I love the Harley Quinn lighting. It's like the pink and blue. Neon pink and blue. I like that vibe. It's like, it's nice on the eyes. If you're watching this later at night or whatever, it's kind of softer, and I'm not going to talk too loud. As I cough into the microphone. Sorry. I hope everybody's been doing good. And I just thought I'd come out and take a look at the bullshit. What's the latest bullshit? Because I have not been paying attention to any news at all. When I'm in there, like, just Shanny controls the deal, what we're watching. It's Shanny's choice. I don't care. I'm content with most things. And I've even, convinced myself to enjoy watching whatever, Animal Crossing or, I just want Shanny happy, really. That's what I want. I want Shanny happy and content because she deserves that, So, I've been watching with her just basically tarot videos for, like, at least all of today. It's been nothing like tarot. It's just tarot videos, which are cool, man. I really, there's something to it. And I'm really into the people that are God believers, like Christians, and are into it. Because I believe it is a legitimate, through the Holy Spirit, you can pray through a tarot deck. And it's more than a divining tool, I think. I think you can actually manifest things as a Christian with a tarot deck, if you know what you're doing. I don't claim to know what I'm doing with it. But when I do it, I'm calling upon the Holy Spirit to show me something. I don't believe that I have the capability to change reality with a tarot reading. I might have that ability. People saw that on the other channel, or it might have been on this channel, that the video might be on here, I'm not sure. But I did a tarot reading for Chantal. And basically everything I said to her in the video that would happen, happened in her fucking life. And people realized it. They were like, wow, you were dead to rights on exactly what would happen to her. And that's not me. It has nothing to do with me other than the fact that I'm a vessel for the Holy Spirit to come through and to show something, to reveal something. Yeah, you have to be the right type of person, okay? If you're sitting in the energy of negativity and hate, God doesn't come to people like that with valid revelation. He just doesn't. You can have prophets that are very fiery in the way that they communicate, or fiery in their behavior, or even psychotic in their behavior. Like, Ezekiel, God told Ezekiel basically to do nothing but lay down on his side, and then after a certain number of hours flip to his other side, and then he also told him to eat cakes of his own shit. So, I mean, God can make prophets do extremely bizarre shit. And if you look at, like John the Baptist, for example, is a great example of, he closed out the Old Testament prophets, John the Baptist. And he was a very unique individual, we could say, okay? The way that he communicated was very outside the norm of what was kind of accepted within, Jewish, you could say, Hebrew society. So hence he was an outcast. And he decided deliberately to be an outcast and have whoever chose to come out and listen to him, they were the ones that he wanted, right? You couldn't just go listen to John in town because he was so outside the norm of even that society. He was so outside of that he didn't want the possibility of running into Jim down the road. He didn't want that possibility. He deliberately went out, way out in the desert, so that if you were seeking his truth, you had to really seek it, because he put himself out there. That's why John the Baptist lived that way, because he was really a hard pill to swallow in terms of how he communicated. Okay? Jesus Christ had a fiery side to him. You see that in the temple. When Jesus is in the temple with the money changers, and what they're doing is clearly victimizing people. And you say swindling them out of their hard-earned dinars. This is bullshit government. They're sold out to the Roman leadership. They don't give a fuck about the citizenry. It's the same now. But it's worse now in Israel, actually, because the Sanhedrin isn't just gatekeepers of heaven that treat everybody like shit. It's worse than that in Israel now. You have a king that's like Saul, and extremely driven by, you call it fame and fortune and glory, like Short Round says to Indy in Temple of Doom. He asked Short Round, why are we doing what we do, Short Round? And he goes, it's fortune and glory. Yeah, Yeah, but see, your fortune and your glory is dark. What good is any fortune and glory and prosperity if your heart is in the gutter? This is a nice little thing. Yeah, I'm using a coaster. Like, I'm actually trying to be a human being, you know. But you have an evil that's churning in the world, and it's like I can feel the planet kind of wanting to vomit. Like, because Jesus said that in the time of the end, it would be as in the days of Noah, and as in the days of Noah, it was like this. It was continual evil. Man's mind was on evil continually, and I think you could qualify this time as pretty close to that. Aside from the chosen, aside from those that are marked and they're sealed, and you're in the kingdom, you are looking at it like me. You're looking at the shit and you're going, unbelievable. Like, what the fuck is the problem here? You know what the problem is, though, and it's human government. It's always been the problem is human government. The nation of Israel was not supposed to have a king. They demanded God give them a king. Their leader was supposed to be the prophet. The prophet hears from God and tells the people. That's the way it's supposed to be. But Israel just demanded that they have an earthly fucking king. So God goes, well, that's funny. Fine, have your king. And then they get Saul, who was scum, complete scum. And that was their message. You don't want this patriarchal dogshit society that the pagans use. That everybody else, that's a system for them. You should be taking my direction, which is what? You listen to the man of God. You listen to the prophet. He's your leader. They rejected that. Because they always reject the fucking prophet. Which really was essentially ordained from the beginning, because they're the chosen bloodline to have the Messiah to come through. So they are chosen in that way, but in every other way, they're just like any other human being, of course. And that's what Paul tells you in the epistles. There is neither Jew nor Greek in Christ Jesus, because when you believe in Jesus, he bridged any divide that way. He didn't just die for the Jews. That's not right. And whoever tries to teach you that is a deceiver and a liar. Because he'll say, he's the Jewish Messiah, so he just died for the Jews. No, that's wrong. He made sure that it was clear that the house of Judah specifically, but all of the Hebrews, were not in lockstep with Yahweh anymore. They were not hearing correctly. Because the fact of the matter is, if they were hearing correctly, they would have known the time they were in, and they would have been waiting to put a crown on him, to make him king. If they were spiritually right. Listening to the prophet of God, because the prophet of God would have been who? John the Baptist. And John the Baptist would have been telling the Sanhedrin, make way for the Lord is coming. The Lord is literally born. He's on the planet right now. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how it would have worked. They would, if the fucking Jewish leadership was in the right in following God, they would have had John the Baptist as their prophet, and they would have heard, make way for the Lord is coming. He's on the earth. I'm not even worthy to tie his sandals, but he's out there, and he's gonna. I gotta baptize him. That's part of it. I don't understand why I don't get why I'm not worthy to touch anything that the man touches, but I'm supposed to baptize him, and that's the way it was. So the prophet of God was listened to by the nation of Israel, by Yeshua, because Yeshua, Jesus, obeyed the Father and went to John in the wilderness and was baptized. That was a thing of obedience. Because when John asks him, Lord, like, what is the deal? I'm just me, and you're you. You're the Messiah. Like, how am I baptizing you? And Jesus just says to him, look, you're doing it to fulfill righteousness. That's all. It's not that I'm better than you or you're better than me or anything like that. This is part of my journey. This is part of our journey. That you baptize me. And that's Jesus is the suffering servant. So it perfectly fits him. That it just, all of it fits the Joseph imagery. Jesus. It all fits that. Because he's lowly, but then exalted into a great state. And his brothers are before him, and he forgives his brothers. And that's all going to happen with the Jews, And Jesus, this divide that there's been between Christianity and Judaism and all of this. All that's going to be a thing in the past. And he is the center of it all, and that's what will become clear. Even Hinduism, things that are even older than him, You know, Buddhism, it's all about the creator in the flesh, which is Jesus Christ, which he did exist. If there's one thing you can't fight, and I'm talking historically, it's the existence of Jesus Christ. Forget it. You're finished from the start because there's so many historical accounts. History, not what you call Bible stuff, fable, as some people would call the Bible fable. I'm not one of them. I'm a believer in the Bible, solid. There's history in it, and there's prophecy too, and it's the most complex book ever written, and it's always going to be that. Because there was a supernatural force behind the penmanship, and it's very clear when you look in the numerics of the Bible. Supernatural numerics are all over it, and it only points to one thing: a supernatural intelligence put it together. You want to call it alien? Fine. God's an alien. Fuck it. The Bible was encoded with truth by aliens. Fuck. You could say that's true actually, because it'd be Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel is the messenger, so he's the angel of prophets. The angel of prophecy is Gabriel, so. It would be penned by definition, he's an extraterrestrial. Yeah, he wasn't born on Earth. Gabriel's an archangel, so he was made by God directly. He's a direct creation of God. And his home is not Earth. Hence, he's an extraterrestrial. So, yeah, the Bible was given to us by extraterrestrials. Yeah, sure. True. And people hear that and they'll say, well, fuck me, Rev. You think gray aliens gave us the 1611 KJV? No. I don't believe that synthetic, weird alien creatures that are probably government experiments, i.e. the Greys, if they exist, which I think they do. I'm pretty sure they do. And they like to wear those shiny fucking weird onesies, and they have like a triangle weird emblem that I'm not sure what it represents, but there's a triangle in it with like a sphere or something. I seen that shit. I have a testimony to give, and I keep learning more and more about what I went through when I got saved in 2004. But I got to give like a testimony again. I had a testimony video on here that probably had, I don't know, maybe 50,000 views or some shit. It got pretty good views. But I told how I got saved, and now I'm getting more details on it, and it's foggy because I was drugged in some things. I had been put on some shit. But I saw some stuff in that fucking hospital that is very much, I will just say, reptilian shape-shifting individuals. There was a portal of energy in that fucking hospital. It was a Marion Community Hospital. It was like there was some portal open for that time. And it was at the same time that Bill Clinton was critically ill, and they had to do like open heart surgery on Bill Clinton, and he almost died, which is very meaningful for me because me and Bill Clinton share the same birthday of August 19th. So he would be connected to me in that way, and that's energy, So when I was going through very crazy fucking stuff, he was going under the knife, and he almost died, like legit. It's back in like 2004, September, October 2004. That's when I got saved. I always believed in Jesus, but when I really encountered the Lord in his power to save me, that's a unique thing. Okay, if you're in a situation where you're like, fuck, I'm going to die, and he comes and saves you from that, that's a very unique testimony that you're given. It's a gift, and every time you tell it, it's a gift. But I'll do that in a separate video where I'll tell you the whole story of that. I wanted to do a Cenk Uygur situation. I got to make sure I'm hooked up to the right deals. We have the Joe Biden situation is in the house. Definitely Hunter has been on the tear. I'm sure telling people that they should just fuck themselves because Joe Biden, his dad, put 50 years of service into this fucking country. And if you think you're going to sit there like some kind of fucking pussy-ass Hollywood liberal fucking sack of shit like George Clooney, you could sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up because my dad put 50 years of service into this country. Do you fucking understand me? So I'm going to look through the Cenk Uygur situation. We're going to see, oh my God, Clinton slams Gen Z. Oh my goodness, Hillary's mad. Should we watch some Hillary Clinton? I don't want to watch AIPAC about fucking sinking Zohran. That they want to make this guy, oh my God, how dare this motherfucker eat with his hands. This scumbag, fucking right racist scumbags. They just always want to talk about somebody's, like, ethnicity. Oh, he's scum. He eats with his hands. Look. Do you realize how many Middle Eastern men eat with their hands? Yeah, you're being fucking xenophobic, racist scumbags again. So I'm not going to listen to AIPAC trying to take out Zohran. Zohran's going to be fine because I think he's a legit dude. Okay, we have Cenk Uygur situation. Mark Levin goes after Tucker. Are you serious? Sloppy Venezuela regime change ploy gets exposed. Pathetic. Don, you're fucking pathetic. Oh, I gotta switch it back from the Fox deal. Here we go. All right, we got stuff. Members only stuff. Katie Miller came for it, Cenk, and immediately regretted it. Okay, watch Anna and Cenk predict the Gaza genocide in 2023. I believe that. They're up on this stuff. right-wingers battle over Israel and anti-Semitism. Oh man, that's an hour video. That's a long one. Fucking Laura Loomer, holy shit. You know, I had an opportunity to date her. Did you guys know that? That's true. I had an opportunity back in the day to fucking date Laura Loomer because my host was like, he was in the know with some people, and he I guess was in contact with her in emails, and he was like, yeah, you're her type, you know. She likes like sort of like German looking guys like you. And he's like, what do you think? Would you ever date Laura Loomer? I'm like, no, I don't think so, Phil. You sure? Because I'm pretty sure she'd want to date you. I'm like, nah, okay, Phil. But Laura Loomer, man, I don't know what I don't know why I really feel bad for women these days because they go to a plastic surgeon and they're like, could you improve my face? And they go, sure, we can improve your face. And then they come out from the knife and they look like that. They look like poor Laura Loomer. Laura, you should fucking sue the person that butchered your face. Because like you were kind of cute before. You know, you had like an Ashkenazi Jewish girl, cute little nose and shit. Like you were pretty cute. And then you went under the knife, and I don't know the result, Laura, but you should fucking sue, okay? They shouldn't butcher someone like Trump's approval ratings in the toilet. Oh my God, that's a lot of good stuff, but I don't know. What do I want to do here? Let's do Hillary Clinton. Fuck it. Hillary's pissed off.
It was astonishing to me because I had so many conversations, and frankly, they often started as confrontations with students, not just at Columbia, but elsewhere. Where were they getting their information? They were getting it from social media. They were getting it most particularly from TikTok, which is governed by an algorithm until, at least up till now, still largely manipulated by the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh my God. Hillary is sounding like Alex Jones style fucking conspiracy theorist on that one. TikTok is an actual Chinese weapon. She just said it's like a weaponized Chinese algorithm, Hillary. Who's telling you this shit? And wait, I just don't understand the whole deal with TikTok being so fucking evil. I just see like fucking Jeffree Star going on there and chatting, and like people give him roses, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a fucking queen," and he is. I fucking love Jeffree Star. I fucking love Jeffree Star. Definitely, he's amazing. I like Jeffree. Could I have a job? Could you give me a fucking job? Because I need to make money for my fucking family. It's rough. I'm having hiccups. It's horrible. It's annoying as shit. I'm having a fit right now. Oh my God. Alright, hopefully I swallowed that down with the tea. Holy Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see what Hillary's claim is one more time. Let's check it out. Here we go.
It was astonishing to me because I had so many conversations, and frankly, they often started as confrontations with students, not just at Columbia, but elsewhere. Where were they getting their information? They were getting it from social media. They were getting it most particularly from TikTok, which is governed by an algorithm until, at least up till now, still largely manipulated by the Chinese Communist Party.
I mean, that's something that I expect someone to say on InfoWars. You know, holy shit, folks. We have these fucking communists in the country, and they want us to use this TikTok app. It's fucking communism, folks. Like, she sounds like that. Chinese algorithm. What the fuck, Hillary? So what are you saying is happening on TikTok then? I don't understand. Are you saying that the MAGA movement has control of TikTok, and so that they have steered the entire narrative towards the MAGA mindset? Is that what she's... I don't get what she's getting at, man.
Last week, Hillary Clinton stated that young Americans have turned against Israel because of social media and China.
Oh my God, are you fucking serious?
What do you make of this? What are your 2 cents here?
Yeah,
that question was about Israel. Why have the young folk in colleges... Oh my God, now I got the full perspective and I want to vomit. She's defending Israel here. Why have the college campuses and the kids and all of this, why have they gone so anti-Israel? I'll tell you why they've gone so anti-Israel, Hillary. Because they blow babies apart. And like peace-loving hippie kids in college aren't for blowing apart babies. They look at that and go, wow, that's genocide. That's really bad. So I'm not going to be pro-Israeli government because it means I'm for blowing up babies, and I'm not cool with that. That's what happened, Hillary. you're asking the question, what happened is so anti-Semitic in college campuses. No, the kids are seeing a genocide take place, and they go, no fucking genocide. I'm not going to support genocide. That's what's going on. Hillary, you're full of shit.
I think she's definitely right that where people are getting their information has changed.
Yeah.
And she's definitely wrong that that's a bad thing. It's an awesome thing.
Right,
I'm going to show you why. And by the way, we're also going to show you how she totally agrees with the right way. That's weird. Only usually when one thing comes into account. Israel. Go ahead.
Now let's watch Clinton berate young Americans for not learning the entire history of Israel before criticizing its current government. Take a look.
Well, forget it. Like, look, you don't want anybody looking into the real history of the founding of Israel. You don't want anybody looking into that. Because you'll find out pretty quick that it was set up by Nazis that are atheists. Holy shit. It's all about a land grab. It was all about getting the Holy Land. That chunk of land, that where the temple was and all that shit. That they wanted that so fucking bad, man. That area. Because it's a spiritual key. The city of Jerusalem, they consider that an international city because it's fucking Jerusalem, right? It's the home of God. So they put that label on it. Well, America just said, Trump said, fuck it. Like, no, the capital of Israel is Jerusalem. And that was a big move, man. That is, making the capital of Israel Jerusalem's a big deal. But it's like, how can you look at that with any kind of purity now? Because you have an Israeli government that just genocides children. Like, nope. Nope.
Remember, more than 50% of Americans, predominantly a much bigger percentage among young people, get their news from social media.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were having conversations, and I would say something like, if Yasser Arafat had accepted the offer that was made by my husband and the then Israeli government in 2000, there would have been a Palestinian state now for 25 years. And I cannot tell you how many times they said, who's Yasser Arafat? All those people chanting from the river to the sea, when you asked them what river, what sea, they had no idea. I mean, this is a serious problem that goes far beyond the terrible, in my view, misinterpretation.
Hillary Clinton here is what you call political cock flexing. And it would be fitting for Hillary to want to flex her cock, because we all know about Hillary, okay? This is like, man, this is so condescending. This is what happens when elites... This is what happens when elites feel like they're in such a high tower that they can just spit on the laity. Like the Queen of England, that was a cunt. I'm sure there was one of them that was a horrible cunt. All right, just spits on the citizens when she's out. Not like the nice queen that we knew, and she would go to the little children and go, "Hello, little child," and she was a sweet old woman. Not like that. A cunt queen, a horrible queen. That's like, oh, you're the fucking laity. Look at these fucking scum, and just spits on her fucking subjects. That type of queen. Not the energy we want to rock with at all. We're dealing with reptilian energy.
And unfairness that we saw post October 7th.
Oh, God. We're going to go there, huh? But I have to say that, okay, we have this creature here, Hillary Clinton, but then we have this right here, okay, that kind of balances things out for the better. Okay, this pirate anime girl. She definitely balances the energy to be more positive. So shout out to Sea of Conquest for having a cute anime pirate girl that balances out the disgustingness of Hillary Clinton. Let's go.
In many different venues.
Yeah, sure, young Americans may not know the entire history of the Middle East, but you don't have to be alive when Bill Clinton tried negotiating with Yasser Arafat to recognize mass murder and genocide is morally wrong, and that's why they are upset. As far as allegations that the China...
Yes, it's accurate, son. That's what I'd say, if I were in the fucking House of Commons over in the UK. Okay, I'd slam the fucking table and go, yeah. That's a good chap, I see. Yeah. We want fucking accountability for once. So we have this witch, Hillary Clinton, coming up and saying, well, we got to steer kids in college back to supporting Israel. Why? They are genociding. Maybe we could stop. Maybe you can convince Hillary. Maybe you can convince Bibi to stop genociding people in his own country, like genociding his own citizens. Maybe you can convince him to stop that, and then maybe we could talk about respecting Israel again. That's just a little advice.
Chinese government is running a propaganda campaign through TikTok. Let's hear from Senator Mitt Romney explain which government is really trying to control the app. Take a look.
Let's hear it. Mitt Romney
support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites is overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I know that's of real interest in the president.
It sounds to me like TikTok doesn't have a problem with allowing the truth of what's happening on the ground in Gaza get out to the public. And I see that as a great... They should get a Pulitzer Prize for that. Did I just say the truth? Yeah, because they're actually informing people to what's going on the ground. You listen to fucking Fox News about Israel? The Murdoch the Murdoch situation? You think you're going to get the truth on Fox News about Israel? Are you fucking kidding me? The Zionist ownership of media it's over. They own everything. So if you're going to hear Israel, it's going to be worshipping Israel. Not even CNN. They don't touch Israel. They don't. You even had Trump go and say, well, that's enough now. Oh my God. But I mean, even Trump said it. And this is going back a while he said it. Well, it's enough now. Like, holy shit. Like, you bombed the fuck. You flattened it. So now you're saying you want to annex it. No, we're stopping that. That's enough. You didn't. Holy shit. Hillary Clinton likes whitewashing history and writing her own narrative on how everything happens. And Mitt Romney is probably pretty much the same.
Okay. The chance to make action in that regard. Typically, the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? How have they and we...
You're slaughtering babies, Mitt.
Communicating the realities there and our point of view.
Now, it goes deeper than TikTok. Last week, we showed you the following video of Jordana Cutler, the Director of Public Policy for Israel and the Jewish Diaspora at Meta. Take a look.
What?
We banned content with harmful stereotypes about Jews, such as the claim that Jews run the world or other major institutions. We updated our policies to recognize that the term Zionist can be used as a proxy for Jews and Israelis.
Oh my, unbelievable. Wow, you tell me who you work for when you say that, lady. Zionism is not the same thing as an Israeli citizen. How would you explain that if you have fucking Hasid Jews in Israel that go, Zionism is fucking evil? How about that? How about the Torah Jews that say that, look, we shouldn't even be in the land. It's against God to be in the land. Because we're not in obedience to Hashem. They're correct. They're not. Because they got no temple. They got no way to make amends for sin. Period. They are a lost, broken religion. Because the dude came and did the thing. It's over. It's been over for 2,000 years, man. It's time for the Jews to fucking smell the falafel. Wake up and smell the fucking falafel and Israeli tea. It's time to eat the falafel, drink the tea, and gird your fucking loins because the Lord is coming. There's zero doubt. You make fucking stupid... Now they're going to just... They paint you. That's it. If you say you're anti-Zion, if you are not for Zionism, you are against Israeli citizens. You're against Israel. Everything having to do with it. Yeah. Nice try with your satanic bullshit.
Content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media, and we do not allow for dehumanizing comparisons of Zionists.
This is unbelievable deception of Nazis. Once again, we have a situation where we have to have some Jew telling us that we are Hitler when they are acting like Hitler. I'm sick and tired of this fucking... It's the Jew victim mentality, and they are the Hitler now. I'm so sick of this fucking dog shit. And she says it with a smile on her face. Well, we're just going to consider anti-Zionism, anti-Jewish everything. And that's the way it is. Do you get that? The ADL will destroy your life. If you want to say Israel should stop genociding its own people, you will be put in a fucking gulag and worked to death. And then they will feed your fucking meat to some animal in the back of their fucking facility. Do you understand the level of bullshit that you're living in? That you have this fucking woman here. Look at this fucking woman. Deranged. This woman is a mono being. When I was in rehab, this was the one girl there, Erin, who looked like a fucking model, man. She was really pretty. But she was supposed to be the new chick, Bradley Cooper's new chick, right? And she's talking to me about shit. Because I was talking about Epstein and shit like that, and I was like the conspiracy guy, and she likes conspiracy shit. So she started sitting next to me in lunch and shit. And I was just chugging coffee and not eating. There's one meal there is a week of meals for me. The food is so rich. They cook black soul food in this rehab place that I was in, because it was in Philadelphia. But Aaron was asking me about... like humans, they appear human, but they're devoid of a soul. So they're humans, yes, but they don't have a soul. And she's like, what do they call that? What do they call that? And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm sorry. And then Shanny reminded me, it's mono beings. Mono beings. They're not stereo beings. A stereo being is hopefully you. A stereo being, meaning you have a soul and a body, right? You're a soul body in one. You're a stereo being. A mono being is they're devoid of the soul. They just have a physicality to them, which is, man, that's a terrifying thought. That you're just a vessel for any kind, because all you'll be seeking is stimulation. You won't care about consequence. It's all about, oh, well, it's just my body, so I got to stimulate my body, and whatever you want to do, you're going to do. Because the soul is what's going to control your, well, fuck, I'm not going to do that. That's like your conscience. Like, Oh, I really need money. You see the old grandma with her back turned and, you know, you could take her purse. You don't do it. That's your soul. Your soul's kicking in. Your conscience. Go, stop that shit. That's fucking bad. Don't even dream of that, you know. For a strong conscience like me, I'm watching the bag to make sure nobody takes it from the old lady. That's me. Like, that's how I operate. But you have this predatory psychopath. That, well, absolutely no. Zionism is actually the same thing as being a Hebrew. And if you are going to say you're anti-Zionism, then you are anti-Jewish person. This is disgusting. Hitlerian tactics.
And just this year alone, David Ellison has taken control of Paramount, which owns CBS News. Speaking of CBS News, Barry Weiss was appointed its editor-in-chief. Larry Ellison's company is poised to become involved with TikTok, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu admitted on tape that he's attempting to control both TikTok and X.
Okay, give me a fucking break, man. We are Israel. Because we are Israel, this means that we must control every single thought pattern in the American people's brain. We will use TikTok to make everybody say, I am Israel high, and we could nuke the planet. This is fucking Netanyahu. What a psychopath. We're going to take over TikTok to feed people nothing but Israeli propaganda. You don't think they're going to know that it's Israeli propaganda? And then they're going to go over to Instagram to get the truth instead of TikTok, because they're going to know TikTok has been sold out to the fucking Zionists. And he just proved that they're proving the narrative correct. They're putting Jews, white, Synagogue of Satan people at the head of CBS, at the head of Twitter, at the head of TikTok. That's what they're doing, man. They're saying it doesn't exist. How dare you say that? The planet's run by these Ashkenaz Jews, these white Synagogue of Satan people. How dare you say that's the case? And then, bam, they're putting them in. You can't make this shit up. It's so blatant.
But, Cenk, what do you make of what Hillary Clinton had to say overall?
First of all, I mean, every time I see that clip, I got to say about that lady we just showed you from Meta. The Zionists who are controlling Meta have banned anyone who say that the Zionists are controlling Meta. He just said it. Wait, is it fair to call her a Zionist? She was literally a former Israeli government official. Okay, so that's hilarious. So now, if you don't know about Hillary Clinton's history, which I'm sure that not a lot of folks do, right? And she doesn't want you to know about that history.
I'm sure
I think it's hilarious that she's like, oh, they don't know the real history. No, what she's actually saying is they don't know the propaganda that we have been forcing down the throats of Americans for decade after decade.
Right.
Why is our propaganda machine broken? Come on, mainstream.
Oh my God. Why do you think? It's because of social media like TikTok that's having the on the ground, you call them journalists, absolutely. The Palestinians that have their camera phone and they shoot a fucking video and upload it to TikTok or live stream it, whatever. And because there's literal babies being blown apart. And they want you to know it. They're going, look, we're being murdered. Oh, Hillary Clinton doesn't like that. Because Hillary Clinton wants a 1984 style government where it's a jackbooted thug that puts his fucking boot on your throat. She wants she wants that fucking Gestapo that Trump built to stop your face until you're dead. That's Hillary Clinton. Do you get it? She said 1984 style of government is the most positive way forward. What a psycho.
Breathe. Come on, CBS. Come on, CNN.
Yeah.
Come on, New York Times. Tell them how great Israel is.
Oh, worship Israel now. Do it.
They have to all bow their heads, and if they don't, they're anti-Semites.
You fucking right. You better fucking absolutely bow your fucking head to Israel. If you don't do it, then you are an anti-Semitic sack of trash. That needs to be silenced, and you can have no voice whatsoever. You talk about a bombed baby, you shut your mouth, you fucking slave American. Israel is your God. You will ball wash every single member of the Knesset. You will not question anything about their government tactics of how they're taking their land. It's their land, goddammit. If you think like that, then you deserve the Nuremberg trial. You're as guilty as a Nazi that's sitting in 1940 Germany with a fucking Jew in the furnace. And now the Jews are burning kids. Wow, how did that happen? Because they're not Jews. They're of the synagogue of Satan. They worship Baal. They are the opposite of a Jew. People need to get that in their head. You think you're dealing with a Jew. You're not dealing with Jews. You're dealing with the opposite of the Jews. Okay, the Jews were always fighting with the prophets of Baal. They hated them. Now that's them. They became that. The Talmudic Judaism is in the mouth of God. I'm sorry. If you're wrapped up in Talmudic teachings and all of this, that's fucking shit. Toss it out. It's spiritually dead words of men that have no meaning. Okay? Reject that dog shit. What you need, you got in the Torah. If you want to be a Jew, you have the Torah. That's all you need. Go to Moses. He's your dad. If you are a Jew, listen to Moses. And the majority of the shit that you have in modern Judaism, he would say, what is this? What is that? What is this? Did Hashem tell them this? Probably not. Okay? You have the Torah. And for Muslims, hey, crack out a New Testament because you're pretty much with us at this point. And if you want that Quran deal, you got the Quran. Bless the Quran, whatever. That's your stuff if you connect with it. But Yeshua's in there and you see him. That's what's amazing to me. So many Arabs now I understand. They get that Yeshua, the Isa, they call him Isa, what was the Messiah. And that's incredible. Amazing. Revelation, to the sons of Esau. Esau. Yeah, I made that connection before. That's a big revelation, man. You understand the name of the child that was denied the birthright, Esau. And then the name of the Messiah turned out to be, in their tongue, Esau, I-S-S-A, Esau. That's a really beautiful thing. And touches the heart of the rejected, because Yeshua was rejected. That's why they call him a failed Messiah, and they're full of shit, because they didn't understand the full picture of what the Messiah is. They're still in this mindset of earthly kingdoms, and it's not earthly, goddammit. You guys always are thinking earth. No, it's the earth to come, the renewed earth, the rebaptized earth. That's free of the dog shit. It's free of the evil. That kingdom is your kingdom, not earthly, Roman, pagan, Gentile kingdom. No. That's what they always wanted, though. And they wanted it immediately. Moses took them out of Egypt, and they immediately were going, we want to go back. This is bullshit. You're just going around in circles, Moses. You say you're hearing from God. We're just wandering, and you're claiming revelation, and we're just wandering. Yeah, there was a purpose to all of the wandering, and there was a purpose for the time that, they had a struggle to get into the promised land. It's because, if there's no struggle, you just walk into the promised land, no struggle. No, it's not going to be that way. You're going to have a struggle. Because it's the land of milk and honey. That's where you want to be. And Moses, he went through all of that bullshit with those fucking people. Thankless job. And he couldn't even put his foot on the land. He had to look from the mountain, but he saw the kingdom. He saw the glorified kingdom of God, which is a huge blessing. We got a 444 up on Cenk Uger's video. I'm going to give Cenk Uger a thumb up, and that's 445. Sub to absolutely the Young Turks. Wow, they changed their username? The Young Turks and Rebel HQ. So they wanted to put Rebel HQ in there too. Is this the actual TYT channel, or is this what the fuck? Did you guys do kind of a rebrand here? This anime pirate girl is distracting my attention hardcore. She's kind of skinny, but, there's no male that's going to look at that and think that that's not nice. I'm just saying. And then the bust line that's quite a home run. Okay, this graphic right here, whoever the artist is, I have to give them close to a 10. I'm saying 9.5. 9.5. That's pretty good. Back to Cenk Uger.
Okay, Hillary, it's not going to work anymore. So how did they do that in the past? There are a lot of different things. By the way, if you don't know, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad is Robert Maxwell. He bought Macmillan Publishing, which published our history books.
I'm almost done.
Robert Maxwell was a legendary Mossad spy who stole our nuclear secrets. Why are we letting Israeli spies buy our publishing companies? He owned 3-4 different publishing companies. Back in the day, that was the professional Hasbara. That was propaganda on a global scale, right? So now their control is slipping away from them. Now they're seeing all the evil things Israel's doing. Boo! Remember that beautiful piece of propaganda we had that my husband created about how there was a peace deal and all the no good, dirty Palestinians had to do was sign, but they wouldn't do it. It's all their fault for being occupied. The Israelis had to enslave them for their own good. And we offered them some amount of their property back. Israel was going to keep a huge chunk. And they said they didn't want a lot of their land stolen.
Well, you're dealing with Hillary Clinton, an absolute sulfur-filled demonic creature that works for the military-industrial complex meat grinder. What do you want? She's a lizard. You know what I mean? Fucking bastard. Oh. Holy shit. See, we have one lighter left that works. Because this one, it's got juice. Oh, it's got very little juice. That's why it's not lighting. We got one real functioning lighter, and Shanny's got it. And so I'm doing this deal. Oh. The top of that acts real weird, like it's going to pop, when I light it a certain way. Come on, what the hell's the deal? Oh. The lighter set it off, and it's like, oh, no, I can't find his face. Anyway, that's alright. Why is it doing that? It's like the lighter set it off to be weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, we're going to be finishing this shit up. I can't believe the bullshit.
No, it's their fault. No, Hillary, it's not their fault. You've been lying about this for a long time, but I mentioned Hillary's history. What does that have to do with it? Her largest donor, last I checked, was Haim Sabat, a massive pro-Israel radical. Part of his job is to donate so much money to the leading Democratic figures that they never, ever question Israel. And don't worry, those donors also exist on the right. Oh, you're not allowed to talk about those donors. We're going to cancel you for making anti-Semite. Good luck. Go for it. Do those donors exist? Yes. Do they demand loyalty to Israel? Definitely. Was it one of the largest donors for Hillary Clinton? Absolutely.
There you go.
But she will say, no, I took all those tens of millions of dollars, and so did my husband, and now we're stinking rich, or unbelievably rich. Okay, but those are not the same. Those are campaign contributions. Those are legalized bribes. And I just somehow wound up with all the money and all the power. And all I had to do was say that I will serve Israel loyally. But you're not allowed to say it. These young people, they don't know anything about history. Hey, Hillary, do you know about history? You know about Irgun? You know about the Stern Gang? You know about Haganah? those are Zionist terrorist groups from before 1948 that did one set of terrorist strikes after another, after another. Do you know about the USS Liberty, how they attacked us?
Oh, shit.
Do you know about all the Americans they've killed in the West Bank?
Oh, man. He just brought up the Liberty. Do you realize that's the type of shit that that could get your channel killed? Jenk, you got to be careful with that one. Oh, there's a great episode of my buddy John B. Wells, his program called Caravan to Midnight. You look him up on here. I'm sure that episode might be out there, talking all about the USS Liberty, man. Oh, boy. Do you know about that? You should look it up. If you don't know about it, go look into that. That's a big one. A big, bad one.
Bank with no accountability. Do you know that in 1967, Israel was not attacked? We were lied to en masse by our media. You can look it up now. Now, after the fact, after all, everybody's been brainwashed. Like, oh, yeah. I mean, Israel attacked first. It destroyed all of the air force of their opponents in the Middle East. And they called it a preemptive war. Then they spread that poison to America about preemptive wars. You know what a preemptive war is? When an imperial power with more might and military capability destroys their neighbors in an offensive war, usually takes their natural resources or their land, and then says,
holy shit, did we forget what it looks like when Hitler went into Poland? Do we forget what that looks like? Maybe we did. And then you go, well, Rev, how could you not be pro-Ukraine war then? Because that's what Putin did in Ukraine. That's how my uncle thinks, you know. And I don't know if I'd really argue, you know, maybe we should try to prop up Zelensky to hedge Russian hegemony. Forgot that fucking word. Hegemony. To fuck Putin's plan of taking more land. Should we support an effort to oppose him in Ukraine? My answer is no, because I'm a libertarian-minded, America First thinking type guy. So I'm going to say no. If Ukraine can't fully defend itself on its own, maybe they're better off with Russia then, because they can't defend themselves that well. I'm just saying. I say we should not be the policemen of the globe, and we should stick to our own fucking shit. If it doesn't have the USA attached to the international situation, let's not get involved if we don't have to. If there's a genocide happening, guess what? We should get involved, just like World War II. Absolutely. If we hear there's Jews being gassed, that's it. We got to go and take care of that. I agree with that. If you have a psychotic, despotic leader that's using his military to kill his own people and ethnically cleanse, we should do something about that. Because that's egregious. It's Antichrist behavior. But genocides go on and on and on and on and on in Africa and other parts of the world. There's genocides happening. Why does the UN exist? I'm still trying to understand that. Well, we did another continuing resolution and we're going to have sanctions. Wow, that works. No, they're just going to oppress the people more and take their rights away more and starve them and genocide them more. I mean, this is fucking insanity. I'd rather just talk about the picture of the anime girl. That's more pleasant than this shit.
As they could hardly contain their laughter. We did it for self-defense. Then why did you take the Sinai, the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and the Golan Heights? Well, part of that was, no, we needed to expand our territory, the Germans said, in order to have breathing space.
There you go.
You can't mention the Germans, even though they're doing the same exact thing as the Israelis. What did the Germans say? They said we need the Sudetenland for self-defense.
Absolutely.
We have native Germans and we got to protect the Germans.
There you go.
And
See?
Have you studied history? Hillary, did you study the history of genocides? You know that in Srebrenica, they...
Oh, Jenk, you know better than that. She salivates. I was going to say she gets wet over, but there's no wetness happening under there, folks. With Hillary, it's over. Okay? So I'm going to say that she has erotic thoughts about genocide. We're talking about Hillary Clinton here. She laughed about Stevens. She laughed about Gaddafi being, like, ripped apart in the streets. You know, she laughs about murder. She...
purposely blocked food and aid getting into the country so that they could set up their own food distribution centers so that when the Muslims showed up at Srebrenica, they would be easier to murder. Where have I seen that recently? Yeah. So it's not like she doesn't know this. And by the way, we're a fair show. Her husband did an amazing job in stopping the genocide that was going on there in Bosnia, Srebrenica, so many other places.
Yeah.
And I thank him greatly for that.
Sure.
So it's complicated. But what it isn't is her
credit where credit's due. You know, Clinton with getting rid of Milosevic and those tyrant type fucking freaks in the Caucasus. You know that. Hey, you give credit where credit's due. I think he did do a good thing there. You know, we'll give it to BC, Bill Clit on. Because he always wanted to have his finger on a clit, which I totally understand. I really get that energy. Because girls are fucking irresistible in my eyes, too. What's the word? I do my best to fight the sin, you know, and I do. I'm a good boy, you know. But I really like girls, man. A lot. Why would I not, you know?
Or say, you young people,
Wow.
you're daring to defy my beloved Israel.
Yeah,
And it's
fuck you.
all your fault. You're ignorant. No, they're not ignorant. You're just a liar.
Oh, my
you do
God.
massive propaganda for Israel, and almost none of it is true. Every time you ring the bell below.
Talk about an accurate statement from Cenk Uygur. What the fuck else do you want? You have this old fucking decrepit piece of shit woman that literally laughed at murder. Okay? They murdered Gaddafi. I don't care if you thought he was good, bad, or indifferent. I don't care what you think about Gaddafi. They murdered him. And he was good to his citizens. Some people considered him a despot, and he may have acted that way, but there was a time that he was really making the country prosper, and his people prosper. They don't like that. He said, central bank, fuck yourself. I'm going to print my own currency based on oil. Wow, they didn't like that. And I think that's where he got... They said, no, we're not going to allow that, because the level of prosperity that was going to explode in that country. It would tell you, holy shit, that's what the world needs to mimic that. What did Gaddafi do? Well, he kicked out the snake central bank piece of shit. And he started basing his money on oil profits, and he actually took care of people with the income. You call it a benevolent dictator. Yeah, pretty much. And honestly, I think that's the best archetype for a leader, unless we're going full matriarchy, feminine leadership, which I think that's way better than men. Men lead with testosterone in their cock, and it's bad. It's not good. I think matriarchal leadership is absolutely the way to go, 100%. Because it's a soft touch. You need a soft touch in the world. A soft touch is much better than a swinging dick that just goes, well, I'm the biggest swinging dick, and I'm going to show you that. No, that's the energy that needs to be tamed and put to the side and not really listened to, because it's based on ego. Women are deeper than men. Because they feel their emotions and accept their emotions more, they're more powerful, because they end up being more empathic in general. Females. So I told you, if I wasn't a Christian, I'd worship you. You know, if you're a female. My audience is, I guess, majority female. Hi. Thanks for watching me. And it's cool that you watch me. Thank you for that. But yeah, you know, you're fucking cool. So keep being females, because you're cool. You know. But I'm done here. What an incredible fucking display of ignorance and out of touch with reality Hillary Clinton is. It's been a while I've seen Hillary Clinton on anything, so this was a absolute dogshit, horrible feat. What a disgusting woman. She goes, ha ha ha, we came, we saw, and we killed him, ha ha ha. She's a psychopath. You look into the eyes of Hillary Clinton, you see a shape-shifting lizard that wants to eviscerate young ones, drink their blood, and absolutely suck off Satan. That she would love that shit. She just wished it was a pussy. What a fucking freak Hillary Clinton truly is, folks.